I have a totally different opinion of Frankie Edgar, guys, than what I'm seeing a lot. A lot of people are calling for Frankie's retirement. That's where this comes from. I'm fine with that. Frankie can retire now. Frankie could have retired years ago, but nothing has changed for Frankie. That's the only thing I'm bringing to you. That fight is not indicative of Frank. That was a knee that would have put down a farm animal. No problem. Hit Frank. I mean, that's the way that's going to go if you get hit with that knee. But what I'm suggesting for you, and here's the reality that Frankie is going to need to come to, I think, to get Frankie right in the back in the right frame of mind. Get him back up and get him pushing for. He's going to need a little motivation right now, like anybody. That's not the way he wanted that to go. But the tough news is also the good news. And the tough news is, hey, Frankie, you are in the exact same spot today as you were a week ago today. You are not going to fight for a championship again. And that's a real hard thing. But that's the reality. Frankie is not going to fight for a championship again. As of losing that fight, he's not going to fight for a championship again. What if he beaten Sandhagen? He's not going to fight for the championship again. There is nothing different in Frankie's career. Frankie is a top draw, former world champion, future Hall of Famer. Everybody he's my favorite fighter. He's still my favorite. Think I judge a guy because he got hit with a knee? Come on. I mean, I'm just saying it's one of these things where nothing has changed. Nothing. If he would have beaten Sandhagen and started calling for a title fight, that's when he would have hit with the cold hard reality of, hey man, we're not putting you in for a title fight. Now or ever. Well, who do I got to beat? You know what? We're not putting you in for a title fight. Well, what about Dillashaw? He's available. What if I go beat him? We're not putting you in for a title fight. That's the reality. That was the part that I don't know that Frankie let in. I don't know that Frankie needs to let that in or ever agree with me. He needs to go out there and do what motivates him. But the real truth is nothing's different for Frankie. He hasn't lost one fan. He hasn't lost one bit of respect. He doesn't change in the rankings. He took a knee. Only thing any of us would say to Frank is, hey, man, you okay? You good? All right. And that's it. There's no disrespect to Frank. He did nothing wrong. He fought very well. He looked very good. It was a quick fight. He came in. Sandhagen jumped him, hit him in the face. I'm only sharing with you. Nothing's different for Frankie today. And there's not a lot of guys you can say that about. Things are different for some guys. Even within that card, there were some guys with some real momentum, and that momentum got stopped, and they're going to have to rebuild. It was just one of those processes. Frankie was in a spot where he has been there, done that, had this opportunity, had that opportunity, won this championship, gave the championship back. It was one of these things. He's done everything. A wonderful spot. He's a co-main eventer. He will not be less than a co-main event in his next fight. He is in a great spot. He's in the same spot. I would like to see Frankie, for the first time in his career, right? The old expression, it's never too late. For the first time in his career, I would like to see him go after an opponent. And Frankie hasn't even done that with the championship. He has said things like, I want a title fight or I want a championship fight. He'll take on whoever's got it. I would encourage Frankie to just be specific one time. See how you like it. See how it works. See the reception that the audience will give it. Say a name. There was nothing wrong even a week ago in saying, I want to fight Sterling. Would be nothing wrong with saying, I want to fight Jan. Be nothing wrong today saying, I want to, and fill in the blank. And I don't know that Frankie is going to do that, wants to do that, or is looking for Chael's nickel worth of free advice. It's what I would like to see. Frankie most certainly does not need to retire. And some people said that because of that. He can retire, but he could have retired years ago. Rested on his laurels, lived the rest of his life, and felt great. He can do that same thing today. Nothing has changed for Frankie. Lose a little prestige and a couple bucks. That's it. Nothing has changed. His stock has not dipped one bit. Mark my words. And the only reason I'm really encouraging Frankie to specifically say a name is to just add that little sprinkle of interest. That little sprinkle of interest just to assure and reassure that he does keep his co-main or main event spot. Frankie has been bouncing between he's a main event or a co-main event every fight that he's had. And I don't even know how long. 2008, 2000, I don't even know. Top guy. But to keep that, to really solidify, just add a little bit more interest than you generally do to your next match. And you can do that real easy with a specific opponent. Be anybody for any reason. Doesn't have to be the low-hanging fruit of go talk trash or say something. Doesn't have to be anything. A specific guy, and give us a specific reason. Could come from respect. Add that little sprinkle, and I can assure you he's not losing anything, including his placement.